Hey everyone, Brennan Snyder here. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of New Music Finds. This is where I like to collect together all the new things that I picked up over the past week, present it to you guys, give you a little bit of background on it, maybe turn you on to something new. That's always the hope and desire, but if nothing else, maybe also just remind you about something cool that you got in your own collection, because we all know tons and tons of stuff like this and you'll forget about it. And then you'll pull it out and you'll be like, it's the greatest thing in the world when you listen to it again. I have that happen a lot. And I got some cool stuff here that not only was fun getting, but then made me pull out other things. I'll talk about that briefly when I get to it. But before we start, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do. Leave a comment, hit like. All those things do help support my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by turning on notifications, you never miss an episode, and stay up to date on cool things where I'm talking about all the new stuff that I picked up this past week. 12 things in all to run through with you guys. We're actually going to start with something that came out a couple weeks back, but I didn't get my copy at the time. I'm talking about the brand new Doro, Warriors of the Sea. This is a little like Tide Me Over kind of album. It's a collection of rare songs, so you get basically broken into two halves. You get 5 songs on here, including the brand new Warriors of the Sea. These are studio, but then you get some rarities thrown in. You get some covers like Touch Too Much, the AC/DC tune. And then there's 5 live songs at the end of this thing with songs like Children of Dawn, Fire in the Sky, Revenge, Raise Your Fist in the Air. So a lot of cool stuff on this one, making it a very fun album to get and listen to while we wait for her brand new album, which, as we know, she is working on. All right, so here is one that did come out this past November 14th. I did do a full review on it because I liked it so much. Sponge, Electric Cattle Gods, The Lost Tracks. These are songs that they recorded as demos before being signed in 1992. There are 2 brand new songs recorded and added to this, and there's a couple alternate editions of songs like Molly's 16 Candles. There's a demo version of it on here. But in all, 9 unreleased songs from those original sessions, making this its own album in its own right, in my opinion. And I just fell in love with this thing and I just couldn't get enough of it. So I did do a full review, an unboxing of it. If you want to know more about it, check the description. I'm going to leave a link in there for you. This one here came out as a box set. The Rolling Stones Black and Blue, their classic 1976 studio album. I chose to just pick up the 2 CD edition of it. Incidentally, the track listing is only on the inside because you do get the gatefold edition version of it like this. So there's nothing on the back side. A little bit of a bummer that you have to open it, but at least it's right there for you. But it's this second disc that is really the meat and potatoes of it. While the first one, as you can see, is a Steven Wilson remix, and it does do a good job, as it does very much enhance the sound. But CD2 outtakes and jams. The first 2 tracks on here are full, complete songs in their own right. I Love a Lady, which is so very good, should have been on the album in my opinion. And Shame, Shame, Shame. I'm not too into the falsetto vocals that Mick Jagger does on it, but that was released as a single for the release of this, the deluxe edition, box set and 2 CD edition. But then we get 4 additional jams on it. Chuck Berry style jam, and this one here has Harvey Mandel on it. Then we get 3 with Jeff Beck. So we get Blues Jam, Rotterdam Jam, and Freeway Jam, all with Jeff Beck playing on it, which is very cool. So if you ever want to know what the Rolling Stones would have sounded like had Jeff Beck joined as a lead guitarist, well, there's some songs on here that will certainly let you know. But in all, I decided to just pick up the 2-disc edition of it. If you bought the box set, you not only got these 2 discs, but you also got a double disc live show from the band. And you've heard me say it a lot on the channel, I'm not a big live album fan, so if that's the only difference between a 2 CD versus a box set, I oftentimes will pass on the box set. But it was also because it was a lot of money. I think it was $150 for it, and I just didn't feel I needed to spend that kind of money. So many box sets coming out these days. So I opted for the 2 CD edition of it. and definitely would recommend that because everything on it is technically unreleased because there's that 2025 Steven Wilson remix, and then there's all that bonus content on disc too. Now, out of everything that I picked up, I think what I enjoyed the most was the brand new Cheap Trick album, All Washed Up. This one here kind of caught me off guard when I first gave it a listen because the first 4 songs on here don't really sound like Cheap Trick style songs. They're very raw and ruckusy and rock and roll and not really what you would expect. And then after that, it gets into the more typical Cheap Trick style stuff that we know and love. But after multiple listens of it, I really warmed up to the overall sound and feel of the album and like it a lot now. So I was enjoying this. And again, I have done a full review of this. So if you want to know more about this album, check the link in the description and you can go hear all of that. So Motley Crue also did a box set for Theater of Pain, but it was an LP only box set. I really wanted that live show that it came with. But it was only on LP, and the cost of it for 3 LPs was $150, and I just didn't feel like it was worth doing it to pay $150 to get that one LP in there of a live show. And I'm kind of hoping that because it's not available to stream and it's not available on CD, that maybe down the road we're going to get a standalone live album release of it. They're just starting it off on LP, who knows? But we did get the remaster of the album, and I do believe this is their, I don't know what year it was, if it was like 2017 or something, when they last did the remaster. So I don't believe it's new, but you do get the new art, and I've just decided because I didn't have any of the recent remasters. I have the Crucial Crew remasters from 1999. And so they did do another remastering later on in the mid to late 2010s. And that's what these are here. And so I've decided to go ahead and pick them up, even though there's no bonus content on these. Unlike the Crucial Cruise, which you got bonus content, this is just the straight album. And I've got to say that I'm very disappointed in the packaging because nowhere on the packaging, and this isn't the first one, this is the 3rd time they've done this, it doesn't say who's in the band, who produced, nothing. There's no information whatsoever, no lyrics, no nothing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're leaving all of that content off of these. If they just think that people don't care anymore, I don't know. Can I Wikipedia it? Sure, I can. But I still think it should be part of the packaging. It was the original stuff. So I'm disappointed that that's not happening on these latest ones. But I want the alternate album art, and I do want those newer remasterings. So I'm happy to pick it up that way. Green Day, Warning 25, the 25th anniversary of their 6th studio album from 2000, getting a box set treatment. 4 CDs inside here. It's got demos, outtakes. It has a full, complete live show included as well. And again, I have done a full review and unboxing of this, so I'm going to leave a link in the description. So a lot of these things, if you're following my channel, by the time we get here to Wednesday and I'm running through all this, you have seen a lot of this talked about in great depth, and that's cool. But if you haven't for some reason, just know there's more out there for you guys to go search on these things. But again, I really enjoyed all the bonus content, and that's usually why I buy the box sets, why I buy the limited things. It's always for the bonus content. It's not usually just for the album itself. I will have owned the album, had multiple copies of the album. So, you know, that's just how things go, I guess. New box set from Uriah Heep. It's called The Shadow in the Wind, 1973 to 74. Which incidentally is around the period where they released their sort of classic live album, just simply called Live. And they also released as a companion piece called Live 1974, but it came out as like a bonus disc. I don't remember what year it came out originally, if it's part of the 2 CD edition or what it was, but then there's also another live album in here that got released in like 74, and I don't remember whether it's this guy or this guy. I could be wrong. One of them was a bonus as part of a 2-disc reissue set, and the other was a live album that came out around 86, so not at the time it was originally recorded. in and around this time were these two studio albums, Sweet Freedom in 73 and Wonderworld in 74. So they've gathered all of that up. The 3 live albums, the 2 studio albums between that 2-year run of the band, and they put it together in a clamshell style box that has in it a very nice book to kick things off, and then all the CDs themselves are in these individual sleeves replicating the original album art. And I very much like that. I love these clamshell style boxes that have been going on, that have been happening and getting put out. So this one here too, in and of itself, is a very cool collection of stuff with some cool, rare, unreleased material that I would highly recommend for Uriah Heep fans out there to check out. So Shadow in the Wind, 73 to 74, cool box set as well. That's the time of year this is. It's just box set city for the holidays. I don't know why that is the case, and it is, but we went so long this year with barely getting any box sets that I was really wondering what the heck was going on this year. And they just saved them all for the end, man. It's just churning them out left and right. We got bands that are dropping them on their website only, like Kiss, doing the Dress to Kill and the Alive. You can only get it that way, so not even in your stores. And another box set that came out, one that I've really, really enjoyed for its additional content, the Black Crowes Amorica from 1994 when this originally came out. It's a 3 CD box set. Unfortunately, the packaging leaves a little bit to be desired because that's the extent of it. There is a booklet and poster and sticker inside there, but that's all you get. And it's $100 for the 3 CDs. But at least with the 3 CDs, you do get the album Tallest. And that is 9 unreleased songs from the Amorica sessions, ones that did not turn up on Lost Crows, the Tall album that was in there that was a lost album. Then you get the Marie Laveau sessions where you get 7 more songs that could have turned up on Amorica. So again, lost songs that way. These are not part of the Lost Crows 2 CD set. And then you get 4 live songs as well. So a lot of unreleased studio content, not just demos and things like that, but full, complete, unreleased original songs by the band. And for me, at least, that makes this box set really worthwhile and why I enjoy it so much. It's going to be one of my favorites at the end of the year, simply because of the unreleased material. Now, this next one here was a bit of sort of a fun, tongue-in-cheek thing, and it is a Spinal Tap reissue of their debut album or soundtrack. It's in all black, and it is 1 inch longer than previously when they've issued it. But what's cool about this one, long box CD edition of it, is that, if I can get into this now, let's go flip it over. It has the original album art that the band had wanted for the Smell the Glove album cover. And as we know, it was all just black in the end of the day, so nothing different about it musically, but you do get that. And again, it's in this super long box edition of it. What was also fun about it, because this is the Smell the Glove edition, and the top part of this, which we can open, came with a replica of the 6-finger glove, leather glove, used for that shoot and the discussion of that and everything that's in the movie. So you not only get the long box, the extra long box, you get the replica album cover art, and you get that glove inside here. I did do an unboxing of this guy as well. No real kind of review, but just an unboxing as it came, cutting it out, opening it up. So that's on the channel as well. Now, last week, the Jimi Hendrix box set, Bold as Love, came out, and this got me going on a Jimi Hendrix kick. So focusing on the album Access, Bold as Love, a bunch of cool outtakes and whatnot. And so I went to my local record store at Sound Exchange, and one of the early posthumous albums that came out, I have Cry of Love, but Rainbow Bridge, and this was actually a soundtrack to a movie that came out at the time, but had all this unreleased content from Hendrix, and I'd never picked this up And even though this stuff has all been reissued in different ways, I just decided that I really wanted to add this in as those original albums that people first got with that extra Jimi Hendrix material that was being worked on for a fourth studio album that never came to pass. So I finally picked this one up and added it to the collection. And I'd seen that it was very hard to get online. I don't know if it's out of print or not, but I was able to walk right into my record store and they had a sealed copy of it, which was great. And then I found this slimmed down version of the original Jimi Hendrix Experience box set. The original one was a much bigger, and it was the lift top style box with the individual jewel case CDs. Now it's done in a double disc format like this with the book that's in the middle, and it's smaller and it's more compact. And I very much like this style for what it is. Interestingly though, on the back side of this, they don't mention that all of these songs are alternate version and unreleased version and stuff like that. They just list the songs, Purple Haze. The only thing they list differently is when it's live. And so I didn't know how cool this box set was until when I was at the record store, I found the original one in the big box, lift top box, and I flipped it over and I saw more information on it. I thought, why would you edit that information that tells me this stuff is different than what I already have on albums, and it would make it much more worthwhile for me to pick this up and own it. And so I did, which was great because I was having this Jimi Hendrix kick, and so I got to add 2 more things to my collection, my Hendrix collection, at a time when I was kind of jonesing for some more stuff. So that got added in, and then I don't know what made me do it other than perhaps the Uriah Heep box set, getting this, but I went back into my collection and found out that I was actually missing the Look at Yourself album from Uriah Heep. I didn't have it, and luckily I was able to get it from Amazon. And this is a cool one where it's remastered and it's got an alternate edition of the album. So the second disc that's in here has 11 tracks on it, and they're all alternate mixes of songs from the album. They're also in a different sequence and running order, making it feel, have an entirely different feel than the original album. And so, yeah, I don't know why I didn't have this one in the collection. I just simply didn't. But I added this in and fleshed it out. And I gotta say, man, I've really kind of found a new love and new respect for Uriah Heep, especially with this, because I never had the classic live album from '73. And when it was being talked about inside here in the booklet and stuff about it being one of those seminal live albums like Deep Purple's live album Made in Japan, it really kind of made me take note and think about it and realize just how important Uriah Heep was at the beginning of the 1970s and their sound. And even though we don't talk about Uriah Heep in the same breath as we usually do about Deep Purple and other bands like that, they really deserve a lot of the credit for getting that sound going. And just, I was enjoying that, and I pulled out all the early albums, the first 4 or 5 albums, and like I said, realized I didn't have this, so I got to add this one in. But I've been on a Jimi Hendrix kick, a Uriah Heep kick, and then all the stuff that I bought, like Cheap Trick, so I was listening to a lot of Cheap Trick and everything, but I was just having a really good week. Listening to the brand new stuff that I got, but then also digging into my archives. And it's one of the reasons that I absolutely love having the big CD collection. People ask me all the time, why do you own so many CDs? Why do you buy so much stuff? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's a library. And so I can go pull from it whenever I'm in the mood for something or something cool drops, even if it's archival, I can go grab the album from that period, that era. And it's one of the favorite things that I love being able to do. And I was able to do that this past week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, all the stuff I ran through here. Maybe you found something new you didn't know was coming out, or you were on the fence about something and I was able to give you a piece of information that helps you decide. But if nothing else, go into your own music collections and pull some stuff out. I highly recommend digging out some Uriah Heep if you don't already have it in your collection. Add some to it. All right, everyone, take care, have a good one, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.